The views and opinions expressed on Deliberately Linked are entirely those of the host, who are completely responsible for all show content. These views and opinions are not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure in any way any kind of condition, or to promote any specific lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or personal practice. Nor is the information presented deemed to be accurate or verifiable.
What is up, Deliberately Linked viewers? Lace them up and lock it in. Because on today's show, my brother Mark is going to talk about what it means to be a backseat driver.
It's true. It's a true story. We all have them.
Yep.
We absolutely all have them. But maybe you're probably not thinking the same way I am. That's what's going to make today fun.
I'm super excited about it.
It's going to make today fun.
Excited what you're bringing because I have no idea.
I love plays on words,
Yep.
and that is a play on words.
Okay.
But before I even get rolling, you're going to talk about something that we all do every single day.
That we do.
Every single day, we make assumptions. Mm-hmm. And I know for me, and maybe a lot of you, assumption does one thing. It makes it of me and you.
True story.
So you're going to share something with us. I think it's kind of personal. Knowing you, and once again, I have not heard this stuff. Knowing you, I feel like it's probably going to be a little bit personal. Because making assumptions is a judgment.
Yep.
And we all need to be careful about that because at the end of the day, we're all God's children.
Yep.
So we need to be welcoming.
That we do.
So I'm going to give it back to you.
That we do. Yeah, before we get rolling, guys, of course, we're going to shout out Visionary Meals, our sponsor for today, a healthy meal prep service.
Yeah.
Guys, I can attest myself, we all are always on the go. Bang, 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 one thing to another. Today, I was fortunate enough to have a healthy meal on with me while I was on the go, guys. So between some clients and some meetings today, I was able to smash a meal with me. Did not have to stop through any fast food and feel like crap for the rest of the day. Fueled myself so later I could fuel my workout.
Yeah,
healthy
absolutely.
meal prep.
Absolutely. It's not, we get caught up so much time in like this motivational stuff, and we get caught up so much in this mental state of mind where I got to feel good mentally.
Yeah.
But really, if you don't feel good physically, your mental game's going to suck.
That's true.
So Visionary Meals provides that. It's a great meal. It tastes terrific. This is not a diet. I want people to understand that. This is a
lifestyle.
This is a hearty meal
Yeah.
that's going to come to you, and it's going to allow you to live that lifestyle and be the best you.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So fantastic. We're thankful for Visionary Meals.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. Very good. So, guys, like Mark said, we do this on a daily basis, every single day. I know myself, I'm guilty of it on a constant daily basis, and that is assumptions. We constantly, as human beings, we assume things we shouldn't. Maybe we assume things and we're actually correct at times. But I think we cross a boundary and enter those dangers of assuming something about a person, a place, whatever it might be, a situation of anything, and it can come back and bite you in the butt.
Yeah.
Sometimes worse than others. And I'm gonna tell a little story. I'm gonna dive into it by painting you guys a picture of actually a story of myself. And how,
It's odd. We're going to talk about you. Okay. I'm teasing. I'm teasing.
Very good.
No, it's okay.
Very good. No, I like that. I appreciate that. That's good. See, he's making assumptions already that like I'm just this bad guy or something, right?
Yeah, I love it.
Very good.
I love it.
So growing up, guys, I'm going to take it way back. I'm talking first grade. Okay. First kindergarten. Before I get started into, IQ and testing and stuff like that at such a young age. That stuff is so hard to read, and we all often wonder how accurate, or how smart really is someone at that age. And a lot of those things can be deciphered through social skills. I see it in your little girl, Hallie, more times than not. I know she excels in her schoolwork, but just her social skills, she's very advanced, maybe we'll call it.
No, that's, she is.
I'm sure you guys
she
get
has
that
4
a lot.
older siblings.
For sure. And definitely,
so she had to learn quickly how to communicate.
Correct. Yeah. So measuring that stuff can be hard. But the reason I'm bringing that up is, I was at least told through on paper testing and through, just teachers and my parents and adults involved in my life at that age that I was at least where I was supposed to be in my learning stages of life.
Standard.
Correct. Very standard. Yeah, very good. And at in second grade, I had a life-altering event happen.
Okay.
And it was an event that truly changed my educational learning for the rest of my life, to this day, honestly. And it was one day at recess, we were playing soccer. That was probably our first mistake. We were playing soccer. Sorry, I'm a football junkie, guys, so sorry, soccer fans out there. But we were playing soccer, and my feet got tangled up with a rather larger kid than me, actually one of my best friends. And I was heading towards the goal. My feet got tangled up, and next thing I know, minutes later, I don't know where I'm at. Okay, our feet got tangled up.
Second year, you're in second grade.
Second grade.
Okay.
Yes, our feet got tangled up.
8 years old.
Yeah, whatever you are in second grade.
Okay.
Smacked the ground hard, and this is what I've been told. I smacked the ground hard, blacked out, fell on top of a rock, had a kid probably twice my size fall on top of me. And I was told that my peers, my students, my friends helped me up, and I crumbled back down to the ground. I'm out cold. I'm knocked out. I'm unconscious at this point. And I got rushed into the nurse's office, and if you would ask my mom to this day, she's still irate that a squad was not called. A squad was not called, and I'm
your mom, who's a medically trained professional.
Correct.
So
yes.
Okay.
And I don't remember this event. I'm going off of what I've been told.
Sure.
And I went to the nurse's office, and long story short, I had a very, very severe concussion.
Okay.
Ended up getting tests and studies done at Ohio State Medical. The best of the best, going through phases of MRIs and all types of brain tests on what truly happened, because it wasn't just a minor concussion at this point. They diagnosed it as something a lot more severe. Excuse me, I don't really remember the medical diagnosis that they called it. It was a concussion. I'm going to make that clear. But basically, and to dumb it down, they told me I damaged part of like my memory lobe, or either the right or left side. Medical professionals out there, you guys would know. I don't remember exactly. But I damaged it pretty bad that from that day on, it would dramatically change the rest of my life the way I learned. And from that day on, it truly did. I was put into classes that, now don't get me wrong, I was still very socially normal. I still was able to go to the same school, obviously, same classrooms as other kids, but I learned very differently now. I needed things explained in deeper detail. I needed more one-on-one attention, especially from those early times. And as I progressed in my educational career, middle school, high school, and then college, it got a lot better. And I was able. Maybe
you learn how to facilitate yourself. You learn how to facilitate yourself.
Adapt, and overcome.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly what I had to do. But as I was going through, we're going to fast forward actually through my intermediate days, so 4th, 5th, 6th grade years. I was in what you call an IEP, individual educational plan or something like that.
An assistance program for students.
Basically,
Sure.
yes. And it was very helpful. It was providing the services that I needed at that time. But one thing that I'll actually never forget, and if you ask my lovely mother, neither will she. But it was one day we were having an assessment, a follow-up meeting of my progress, where I'm at kind of in my learning stages. Am I behind? Am I catching up? Where I'm at in this whole process of overcoming this disability, this challenge now that I was kind of facing.
Sure.
And I'll never forget, I actually remember I was sitting in the classroom. I wasn't a part of the meeting, but I was in the classroom, so I could hear everything that was going on. And this teacher, I'm not going to give any names, but looked my mother in the eyes and said, "We're going to have to find an alternative route for Josh, because he will not go to college. He won't go to college. He won't succeed in college."
How old are you?
I'm 4th, 5th, 6th grade. Yeah. This lady looked at my mother in the eyes and said, we're going to have to start planning for Josh's career and his future because he will not go to college and graduate.
That's some strong words.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my mother looked at this lady in the eye and says, "You will not decide where or where not my son will not go."
Okay, so backstory real quick. Josh's mother, her name is Deb.
Yep.
She's one of the strongest, most wonderful, most genuine women I know.
Yeah.
True story. I have a mother myself. I love her dearly. Deb is a mother to, geez, I don't know, hundreds of people.
Right.
She is
Yeah.
amazing. And let me tell you something. The kindest woman in the whole wide world. So when Deb takes a stance, that's real deal.
Yeah.
That's real deal. Because when she puts her foot down, you know she ain't playing.
Nope.
Okay.
No.
I like this.
Yeah.
Because I'm scared of Mom and Dad, but she's mad.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was from that day, you know, I knew the burning passion and almost just frustration. I think that
Sure.
when my mom was told that, she was like, "Who are you to decide the success of my son?" And you know, definitely Mama Bear definitely kind of
Do not limit him.
no, don't. Yeah. And she was very adamant Josh will not go to college. So fast forwarding high school, still had an IEP, was still getting individual attention when needed. You know, there's unfortunately students in high school. There's a horrible stereotype with kids that have IEPs.
Agreed.
A horrible stereotype. They're the weirdos. They're idiots. They're not smart. They're not this. They're not that. And growing up, being in that party, you know, I was able to, because I was that jock at school, but
Sure.
then that guy that had to go to these individual classes.
Sure.
And I got to almost feel, you know, indirectly from individuals, you know, just the what do you want to call it, like the
Scrutiny?
the scrutiny, yeah, about it, and being in those classes, being with students that I could tell are winners and kids that
Yeah.
that are going to do big things just in different routes and different ways and have a different way of learning.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm gonna not bore you guys with that whole with going on and on about having to overcome with all that stuff because I want to really dive in to this topic. But long story short, to that teacher, I graduated high school with a 3-point plus GPA. I was a 12-year letter winner in
Yep.
3 different sports.
Soon to be Granville Hall of Famer. Let's not lie.
I don't know about that.
Brother's already there.
I don't know about that.
Shout out to you, Tyler.
I went on to Wittenberg University, playing 4 years of college football, winning 3 NCAC conference championship rings, got a degree in sociology, specialized in criminal justice with a minor in sports management.
Okay, now time out before you go further. Hold on.
Yeah.
Your freshman year, there were how many kids?
At football?
Yes.
90.
Okay. How many of them were at your senior year?
Less than 20.
And how many of them graduated?
The call, like from WIT?
From your group, how many of them graduated from WIT? From WIT.
All of them.
So the 20 kids that were there your senior year, all of them graduated?
Yes.
Okay. So out of that much percentage, only that percentage of them actually graduated.
Correct.
So the kid with the IEP basically beat all the odds.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Lots
Very
of other
good.
kids who didn't have an IEP
Yes.
couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Exactly.
Thank you, 4th, 5th grade teacher. I appreciate you.
Right.
Love motivation.
And I'm not done. To that teacher, I did all that, and I am now running a growing company by myself. Actually 2, in the process of 3, and have so many more achievements to come.
Oh,
And
yeah,
guys,
yeah.
I'm to that teacher. Thank you. I appreciate the motivation and
There's no hate.
getting
Or
underneath
there's
my
no
skin.
hate. There's no anger.
not at all. But
You lit a fire.
you did lit a fire, and so I appreciate that. But my question is that kind of brings us into our topic: who are we to assume as individuals? Who are we to assume, and why is it so common as this society to do that? Because guys, it has to stop. It's unacceptable. You're tearing down people that don't have the confidence that they need to walk with on a daily basis, and truly setting a lot of these people up for failure that don't have the support. And if they're ones that do need the support, by you assuming what they're going to do or what they're not going to do is not going to help them in any way, shape, or form.
No, I mean what we're doing is we're creating barriers, and we're separating. I mean, we're talking about going back to civil rights times.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking color. I'm talking intelligence.
For sure.
You've created this barrier. You're not good enough to talk to me because you're not this smart and you need this extra help and I don't.
Yeah.
When the reality is that's not true. I mean, I have a niece who you've trained her. She had an IEP.
Mm-hmm.
She is now employed by Ohio State.
Right.
And she's also entering into nursing school.
Yep.
Just because you need a little assistance at a time does not make you less worthy.
Correct.
Those who don't need that, count your blessings. Good for you.
For
I'm
sure.
proud of you.
Yeah, that's
but
awesome.
for those who don't have that and they need something, why is that a problem?
Yeah.
Why is that a problem?
But there's so many categories, guys, in our life that we do this.
Oh.
You know, and I'm guilty of it. Like I said at the beginning of the show, so I'll never forget. And, you know, I'm going to kind of contradict what I just said a little bit. You know, I'm going to be that teacher in a way. You know, maybe not so much, but I was talking to a high school graduate a little while ago, and I proposed a question. I said, so where are you going to college? And they just had this like shame on their face.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm actually not going to college. And I was like, I had to check myself. I was like, who am I to assume that they have the money to go to college?
Well, not only that, but society trains us that after high school, this is what you do.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And I'm like, oh, that's okay. That's nothing wrong with that.
Everybody.
I said
not for
nothing
everybody.
wrong with that. I was like, so what are your plans? And they were actually like, I'm actually, you know, I do have plans to go to college. I'm going to take a couple years and raise some money to do so.
Absolutely. Good for them.
I said, good for you.
Absolutely.
Because who am I to assume that they can afford it? Who am I to assume that their parents have the money to support them to go to college? It happens left and right.
Yeah.
And who am I to assume that maybe they're taking another career path? Because like Mark stated, our society has formed us and shaped us to believe that college is the only and the next route after high school, which isn't the case.
No.
I know a ton of successful people, I know you do too, of people that didn't go to college.
Well, first of all, at the rate of which tuition continues to rise, I don't blame any of these kids. You kids out there that are thinking maybe I should go work for a little bit, maybe I should enter into the military, maybe I should follow a different path, maybe I should go to a smaller school that doesn't get the name recognition to get my education. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Do it. Do you know why? You're going to save yourself heartache. You're going to save yourself a headache, and you're going to save yourself a lot of stress. Because at the end of the day, it ain't the school on it. It's that certificate saying that you are capable of learning this study.
Correct.
That's what matters. I don't care where it came from. You get there how you can get there.
Yeah, very good. No, that's exactly right. And I think there's a billion examples, guys, how we constantly assume things. And you know, for my entrepreneurs, you know, I thought of this idea. You know, it's so common, you know, for people to think, oh, they're an entrepreneur, they run their own business, they own their own company, they must be loaded.
Sure.
No.
You're broke.
You're broke.
You're broke.
You're broke. And guys, I know a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of individuals that own their own company that are very successful at $40,000 a year.
Yeah.
You know what? Good for them, because that $40,000 a year, that's their own time. They make their own schedule. They do this, they do that. That $40,000 can easily equate to $60,000 a year.
Well, they answer to themselves.
Correct.
At that point in time, the only person that's stopping you is you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, $40,000 not given to you by somebody else or an entity.
Right.
Plus you earned it. That's
you earned it. It's yours. Yes.
That's a different feeling.
And you very
I'm not
well
knocking people that work for somebody. I'm not.
No.
I myself am not an entrepreneur in the sense in which you're talking.
Right.
And I'll talk about this later. But there's nothing wrong with that. I've always worked for people.
Yeah.
Always.
There's nothing wrong with it at all.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with it at all. But I wanted to make that point is because as our upcoming entrepreneurs, don't go in the field of entrepreneurship because you think it's an easy ticket to a lot of money.
It's so funny he says this because I'm here to tell you, if you're listening right now, stick around for like another 20 minutes because I'm going to punch all over this.
I love it. Yeah.
I am
sure.
because we get into things. It's funny because assumptions kind of flies into what I'm going to say a little bit, but we make these assumptions on how things are supposed to be, how things are going to be, what's expected of me.
Yeah.
And the reality is you're wrong.
Right.
You're wrong.
For sure.
You're absolutely wrong. Because at the end of the day, your life should balance on passion.
Mm-hmm.
Passion.
Yeah.
I don't care what the dollar signs say.
Not at all. Because entrepreneurs, listen up. Or, you know, even individuals working at 9 to 5, or, you know, you report to somebody, you know, if you're chasing the dollar signs, it won't last long, guys. It won't last long. The top 1% make $400,000. You guys know how much money that is?
That's a ton of money.
That's a ton of money.
A ton of money.
I'm not saying don't go chasing what you want, but don't chase something for the dollar sign, because you will always end up regretting it. You will either fail, you will either end up being miserable. Chase purpose, chase passion, chase love, you name it.
It's not that you fail because you're chasing money. That's not why you fail. You fail because you never can get there.
Right.
Because it's never enough.
You're never satisfied.
When you're chasing joy, when you're chasing passion, when you're chasing the purpose of what you're doing,
right.
You start out there.
Mm-hmm.
You start out there. So the little wins are big wins. And I'm telling you, everybody that's listening to this and watching this, I'm promising you right now, as God is my witness, we do not discuss our topics before we come in here. Mm-mm. We do not. It's amazing. God is amazing, because I promise you, I'm going to touch on this here in a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it is so true.
Yep.
We have gotten ourselves, America has gotten themselves into this moment or this lifestyle of, robotics.
Right.
This is what we do. This is what we say. This is how we treat people like this. This is who you are. This is what society says you're. It's wrong.
Yeah.
It's wrong.
Mm-hmm. It is. It is. Flipping this a little bit, guys, assumptions are going to happen no matter what.
We all do it. We're not perfect.
We're all going to do it. And like Mark and I do it every day. I'm over here preaching a topic on it, and I do it. I'll probably do it before I go to bed tonight or whatever.
And by the way, I need to hear this topic just as much as everybody else.
For sure.
It's a great reminder. My wife is at home right now saying, he needs this. Okay?
Yeah.
I promise you.
No doubt. But something to remember, since us as human beings will always make assumptions no matter what.
Yeah.
Are you presenting yourself how you would like to be perceived?
It's the golden rule.
Are you presenting yourself how you would like to be perceived? Now, I didn't say, are you presenting yourself in the way that others want to see you? No. Because I want you to be yourself. We talked about not being fake. All right. And I'm also going to talk about not conforming to society.
Please don't.
If you want tatted up left and right, good for you. Go do it. If you want gauges in your ears, good for you. Go do it. Whatever, guys. Don't conform to society. But just know that assumptions will be created. So as long as you are perceiving yourself in the way that you would like to be perceived, then you have nothing to worry about.
No.
You have nothing to worry about.
Walk with pride.
Walk with pride. But if you are afraid, or you want to dodge assumptions being created by others, if you're doing something that is a norm and a stereotype that people do it, just know you are going to receive it from them.
This is what you can expect.
Correct.
Whether it's right or wrong, I'm not saying that, but that's what you can expect.
Yes, exactly. So don't conform to society, but knowing first impressions are important. And that goes from, first impressions to, meeting a girl or meeting a boy for the first time, or meeting their parents for the first time. Guys, I think meeting the parents, Mark could probably go all day about.
That's another month-long podcast. Any young men out there listening to this that want to date my daughter, and I promise you, some of you are listening right now. You want the cheat codes? DM us, and I'll give them to you.
For sure. He will let you know what assumptions that are going to be created.
I'm telling you, the expectations are high. That's all I got to say. That's
sure.
the nicest way I can say that.
Yeah.
But no, I want to go on something that you said. You said the way you perceive yourself is the way others perceive you. So my wife and I we have a 20-year-old son, and his past has definitely been rocky, to say the least.
Right.
But I'm really proud of the direction he's going in right now. He's turning a leaf, whatever you want to say it. He has experienced life.
Yeah.
And that's a stance that Heather and I took. We took that, obviously we can't guide him forever, and we're going to have to let him experience things, which includes falling. It includes failing. Mm-hmm. And he's done that. And he's starting to sell now this Cutco, knives, whatever, which you talk to anybody, that's a wonderful product.
My parents actually have them.
They've had them for like 40 years.
Yeah.
So, but it's a wonderful product, but I've known multiple college students to do this.
Okay.
Now, the truth is, though, he thought of this on his own because he starts college here in about 4 weeks.
Okay.
And he said, I knew I needed to make some money on my own schedule so I can continue to support myself while I go to school.
Good for him.
So I told him before he left the house, I said, Jake, here's a few things. Get a haircut. Okay. because Jake does not give a crap. And it's something that we do appreciate about him. He will not conform. He does not give a crap. He is who he is, and if you accept him, that's it. We love him. He's our son. But I told him, I said, get a haircut.
Yeah.
Do you know why? Because you're selling yourself as much as you're selling your product,
Yeah.
number one. Number two, I told him, I said, I'm so proud of you for embracing the grind because you've now noticed this is what I got to do to get where I got to go. And even though it's not something I want to do, it's something I must do.
Correct.
So for you entrepreneurs, for you people who are caught in the middle, there are many, 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 many times you will do things you don't necessarily want to do because that's what gets you to the home run.
For sure.
That's what gets you to the finish line. Don't be too proud for that.
No, don't.
Okay.
And just to piggyback a little bit off of what Mark was saying there, guys, unfortunately, I talked about, perceiving yourself, the way you want others to perceive you.
Yeah.
Now, we do live in a world, a society of assumptions, and whatever you want to call it or not, those individuals that you might be selling stuff to, whether you're an entrepreneur, individuals you might be applying a job for and going in to do an interview for, those individuals you want to quote unquote be old school.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh, yeah.
So whether you find it socially and completely acceptable and whatnot to walk in with your hair down, hair in the wind, down to your back, whatever, good for you. That's okay if that's how you want to roll. I'm telling you right now, they are going to make assumptions based off the way that
Fair
you
or
looked.
unfair?
Fair or unfair?
Fair or unfair.
So you need to adapt whether you like it or not in some situations.
Understand that success comes with a very rainbow-like array of customers and employees.
Yeah.
Okay? So you need to be able to present yourself to all different types.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you want to aim at just one single person, one single type of person, one single interest, you are limiting your success.
For sure.
So you need to make sure that you are able to conform. I don't like the word conform. You got to make sure that you're able to relate
Okay, I like
to
that.
many different areas
Well put.
and different types of people.
Well put.
I don't want anybody to conform. Don't do that.
Don't conform.
But you must be able to relate on different platforms.
Yes, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I don't think I could say it better myself, so we're going to leave it at that. Very good, Mark.
Yeah.
Lastly, guys, this is a really short and sweet point. But as we all walk day to day, making assumptions of individuals, you have no idea what that person could be going through.
That's a whole another podcast.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
You have no idea what kind of home life that kid has had.
Some of those people have shared moments with angels. That's how I think.
Yeah, for sure.
So before you judge, think about that.
No doubt. And guys, I know it seems really elementary, to say something like that, but I think it's important that we're all constantly reminded, because I constantly need to remind myself before I make assumptions of why can't that person, if they're going to go out in public, why can't they at least dress themselves better? Well, maybe they don't have anything
Why
better.
can't they bathe? I mean,
Why can't
we
they
can go down
this?
a list of things. I mean, the hardships, you never know until you're there, and you
For
never
sure.
know until you're involved.
Yeah.
And the reality is we should be involved. We should be. What are you doing today to help somebody?
Yeah. Make someone's day, guys.
Yeah.
Instead of assuming why aren't they doing this or why did they do that, go give them a compliment or go get to know them and learn maybe why they are doing what they are doing. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Stop with the assumptions, guys. I myself need to do it less.
Judge
of.
not, let thee be judged. I mean, and I'm just as sinful at it. I mean, I will say this: if my wife were here, I promise she'd have spent this entire segment staring at me, doing exactly what we're saying don't do. But she would have done that because she walks on water daily, and I can say that because I know she's not going to listen to this. But no, I'm bad at it, and I'll tell you why. My expectations of myself are high.
For sure.
So therefore, I project my expectations on others, and that's unfair. That is unfair because I have created my own lifestyle. You've created your own lifestyle. We create our own expectations. We create the way we wake up every morning, our daily habits.
Yeah.
Not everybody's had that.
Right.
They don't not only know how to do that, so we can't expect that from them. So really, we need to be more Christ-like.
Correct.
We need to show more love and grace before we show our butts.
That's right.
To put it nicely.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a great topic.
That's good.
Good
Thanks,
job.
buddy. Yeah, so as we make this transition, guys, what is what else is this sponsor or this podcast brought to you by?
Yeah, no,
Let me know.
I'm telling you, I want to take my time on this because I've screwed this up multiple times. We have a wonderful production company, okay? Wonderful production company.
Yeah.
And his name is Lincoln. He's a fantastic guy. He owns a company called Tip Hat Media. I'm hoping he's putting some stuff on your visual aid right now. If you're on SoundCloud and you can't see this, look this guy up. Okay, I'm promising you. He will take you to the next level. I mean, we talk about companies all the time that provide a service. This man does not provide a service. He creates a future.
He does.
Okay, that's what he does. He doesn't give you today. He creates tomorrow for you.
Yeah.
Whether it's through his video, whether it's for his production skills, whether it's through his audio skills, the drones. This guy makes highlight videos that make literally dead people look alive.
Yes.
I mean, the
So
kid is
true.
unbelievable. I try to tell him every day how proud I am of him. His skill level, it's through the roof. Okay. So Tip Hat Media, tiphatmedia.com.
Yep.
On Instagram, it's at Tip Hat Media.
Yep.
Find this kid. Okay. I'm here to tell you, real estate, athletes, anybody who's running a small market business, but even if you're running a big market business, nothing's too big for Tip Hat Media. The kid's got the equipment. He's got the knowledge. This guy is the guy to look out for.
For sure.
So Lincoln at Tip Hat Media.
And guys, even just to add to some of his skill sets, this kid is able to, if you're out of state or something, and you're like, man, I got some work, I got some already created stuff, some footage that I just don't know what to do with. Send it his way. He can work from it from his location and send it back to you. I'm telling you, the best product that you'll find out there. There is no better.
I'm here to tell you, you guys hear us as a finished product. Before we're a finished product, we send this guy garbage.
Ugly.
Okay, we send this guy garbage, and he brings us out looking like we're a 7-course meal. Okay, I'm here to tell you, we would not be who we are. We would not have the success. Tip Hat Media at Lincoln, he's the guy. Check him out. Okay, check him out for real. Fantastic.
Good
Money
stuff.
worth well spent.
No doubt.
Yeah, invest in yourself.
I love it.
I got podcast topics flying off my head right now. No, I had a crazy week.
Okay.
I had a really crazy week. A lot of emotions. My wife she graduated from college again about a month ago, but she just passed her boards again, which is huge. I don't know if anybody's taken boards for your RN. Very stressful. I'm continuing to help my mother out with an investment home of hers. I got a little brother named Josh Link who sits beside me, who's trying to build this kitchen so he can take the company to a next level. Yeah. It's just crazy. It's a crazy
lot going
week.
on.
My head's spinning. My son's battling for a starting varsity quarterback position, which weighs heavy on my heart, and I wish him the best. He's a good kid, so it's just been nutty.
Right.
But thinking about you, thinking about her. And I was watching SportsCenter, which I rarely do, but I caught myself watching SportsCenter one morning, and here's this guy named Anthony Davis. If you don't know who he is, look him up. He's ginormous. He's a famous NBA player, and they're doing an interview because he just switched teams. And I normally don't care about this stuff. I'm not a big professional sports guy.
Right.
I like sports at the the heart of things.
For sure.
I play because I love it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Friday night, smell a dude,
Yeah.
dirt. That's me.
Passion.
That's me.
Yeah,
love it. The click clack of the cleats on the hard. Love it. Gets me fired up now. I'm ready to
Speaking
run through
let's
a wall.
Go.
But he said something that really struck me. The lady asked him, and she said, what made you move? And he said this. This is what he said. He said, I decided I was going to stop listening to everybody else, and I was going to start listening to myself. And I was going to do what made me happy. And I'm thinking, this is a guy, multimillionaire. I mean, the guy signs like a 4-year, $100 million deal. You can't spend that much money.
No.
And he's sitting there telling me that he has spent the last so many years listening to other people tell him to live his life. Why?
Why?
They're not out there playing ball.
No.
They're not 6'10", dunking on people,
Right.
running in the MVP race, taking a team to the playoff. You are.
Yeah.
And yet you're telling me that there's all these other things that are telling you how to live your life. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, me too. Me too.
Okay, I like where you're going.
I'm like, he's right. What am I doing? Why am I listening to this?
Yeah.
And I'm like, who's my backseat driver? Who's my backseat driver?
Right.
It ain't Hallie. Now, Hallie will tell me she'll change the channel, turn this up. I want this song. I'm not talking about that.
Yeah.
I'm talking about life. In life, we talk about a journey. We talk about chapters. You can describe it in so many ways. It doesn't matter. You can say you're on the journey of a lifetime. You can say that this is a new chapter, this is a new chapter. I'm writing this book of life. Whatever you want to say, I'm here to tell you. The baggage you carry is your choice.
Mm-hmm.
Number one. And number two, you will live that life based on your choice. You can either follow this and follow this, which I pointed to my head and I pointed to my heart, or you can follow everybody else.
Right.
And if you're following everybody else, that means someone else is driving a car.
Mm-hmm.
And I started thinking about it. Here's this guy, multimillionaire, and I have something in common with him. I listen to too many people.
Why?
Not only too many people, but hold on real quick. I listen to too many emotions.
That can get dangerous.
I listen to way too many emotions. And it's because of what Josh touched on earlier. You entrepreneurs, I'm going to talk to two sets of people today because we only got, maybe 20, 30 minutes. So I'm going to talk to my entrepreneurs and I'm going to talk to my high school kids. But first, my entrepreneurs. Here's the thing. Number one, why are you doing what you're doing? You better know that.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, chances are you're going to fall into two areas. You're either going to be running this race of building a business out of fear or out of making money.
Right.
And let me tell you something. Both those things are going to fail. Because if you're doing it out of fear, you will never allow yourself to exceed your expectations. And you must do that to be successful.
Correct.
You have to do that to be successful. And if you're chasing money, it will let you down every time.
Yep.
Now, thinking about this topic, I honestly surprised myself. I actually have a lot of friends who are entrepreneurs. I have a lot of friends.
You do.
I do. It's weird.
You do.
It's weird. And I thought, well, why do I have, because usually entrepreneurs hang out with entrepreneurs.
Right.
It's the same like business mindset. And then it stuck me today before I came here. I am an entrepreneur. For 4 years, I sold myself. I was my own product.
Yeah.
I didn't have a business. I wasn't chasing money. I didn't have a product per se, except for me. I was fighting for hundreds of thousands of people. I was selling myself. So now if you guys don't know me, I really don't like the spotlight.
No.
If you Google my name, please don't. But if you do, you're going to see countless interviews. You're going to see lots of reports, newspaper articles, all these things. I really don't like the spotlight. But for 4 years, I had to sell myself. And as I was thinking about this topic, I asked myself, why did I do that? Because I don't like the spotlight. I wasn't chasing money.
Right.
Was I afraid? I was afraid.
For sure.
I was definitely afraid. Okay. There was a climax in which I was seeking, not for myself, but for my family. So there was a fear involved that motivated me. Now, it wasn't a fear that grabbed me and held me down, but it was a fear that motivated me. It was something I must complete for them.
Yeah.
Okay. But I was my own product. So I was like, okay, I get what some of these entrepreneurs are going for. Because your product is you.
Correct.
I don't care if you're selling supplements. I don't care if you're selling t-shirts. I don't care if you're selling meals.
Yeah.
I don't care what you're selling. Your product is you.
Yep.
If that product is not representing you well, that's your number one problem right now. That is your number one problem. If your product is designed to make money, you're going to fail.
Right.
You will fail because at the end of the day, the market decides what that product is worth. So are you going to let the market decide what you're worth? Is that what your decision is? The market decides what I'm worth? No. You are worth more than you ever know.
Right.
You are worth more than you ever deserve. And yet you're still here and you have this opportunity. Make your product yours.
Yes.
Do not let that product be lifted or cheated out of fear. Do not let that product be driven out of money. Let that product be an extension of who you are because you want people to enjoy your passion.
Yes, I like that.
Enjoy your passion. I mean, you came to me 2 years ago. 2 years ago, you and Ash sat at our dining room table and said, I have something I need to tell you. I have this crazy idea.
Yes, I remember
And
that.
you said it. My memory's horrible, but I remember this vividly. And I looked at you and I said, you know what? That's fantastic because no one's doing it.
Right.
But then we instantly fast forwarded to is why. And we talked about reach, and we talked about how we can touch people, and we talked about how these meals can be bigger than just literally a physical
product.
fulfillment.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to eat it. I know it's going to fill my belly. I know it's going to fuel me. I understand that. But that product is far more than that. Mm-hmm. Tell me why I say that, though. Give the viewer a hint of why Visionary Meals is more important than the product. Give me the story about the kitchen.
The one that we're going to now? Or the
The kitchen at church.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'll make this quick.
Yeah.
But so when this business idea was established by my wife and I, mm-hmm. we for the longest time were entertaining if we were to do this, where are we going to cook this product out of?
Yep.
And when we truly got to the nitty-gritty of creating our business model, something we constantly reminded ourselves is, in any way possible, every avenue possible, we are going to glorify God in any way, shape, or form. So our business slogan is envision the best you, but underneath of that, on all of our literatures, all of our apparel, whatever it may be, on our packaging is 1 Corinthians 10:31. So whatever you do, whether you eat or drink, do it all for the glory of God.
Amen. Yeah.
And we have plans in action to glorify Christ through our product by hopefully one of these days, if it is His will and His plan, be able to deliver an abundance of meals to individuals that don't know maybe where their next meal is coming from.
That's right.
And as we were progressing through this business model, we're like, okay, we have a great plan. How are we going to cook the food? And, I'm calling kitchens left and right, trying to be like, we don't have the money to put up a kitchen, but we just really need to get in a space to operate out of.
We have a passion. We got a dream.
Correct. And, we're like, hey, the church that we go to, it's got an excellent commercial, modern, updated kitchen. I was like, well, one day after the service, let's stop in there and check it out. And if it's His will and His plan, then it will be done. And so it was that night we were praying about it. And, I was, for the longest time, I kind of fast forwarded a lot of the girth of the story, but for the longest time I was denying the passion that God put on my heart.
Right.
I was denying His purpose.
I'm going to take this and I'm going to light it up here in about 2 seconds.
I was feeling everything that He was instilling in my heart, and I was like, nope, God, I went to school for sociology, criminal justice. I'm going to be a cop. That has been my passion. That has been my purpose. That has been my plan. I'm doing it. I don't care what kind of business model you've put on my heart. I'm literally in the Columbus Academy right now pursuing this. I'm taking the test. I'm doing everything I need to do to fulfill this plan of mine. But God said, no, that's not what I have planned for you. And for weeks and months on months, I denied it. And I said, fine, if this is God's plan, we need a kitchen operator. Right. So Saturday night, before my wife and I went to church the next morning, we went to bed praying. And I said, God, I have heard everything you have told me. I have felt everything you have told me, but I will continue to deny that this is what you want me to do unless you are going to show me that this is what you want me to do.
That's right.
I need to see it. I'm done feeling it. I'm done being told it. And I prayed and I prayed and I prayed, and we went to bed that night. And the next morning we went up, went to church, excellent service as always, and we were like, oh, let's go look at the kitchen. Let's go see if it's possible. And we walk in the kitchen. We're looking around like, oh my gosh, like kids in a candy store. We're like, this kitchen's beautiful. It'd be fantastic.
Beautiful. We feed a lot of people out of that kitchen.
We do, and we're like, this would work perfect. And I'm like, awesome. Well, I'll shoot our pastor a text, and we'll set up a meeting and talk about the possibilities of this.
And what verse was in that kitchen?
So, and before we left, Ashley stopped and she said, Josh, look up. I go, look up. She goes, look up on the wall. And I look up on the wall, and up on the wall was written 1 Corinthians 10:31. So whatever you do, whether you eat or drink, do it all for the glory of God. And I was like, there's my sign.
There's your sign. Now, see, I get passionate about this, and I'll tell you why. Because I want every single person to feel what I feel.
Yeah.
I do. And now some people can argue and say, okay, what you feel is fake. Jesus Christ is a story. You know what? You're right. He is a story. He's a true story. Okay? Now, we want to talk about what your backseat driver is. There's many things your backseat driver can be, but the only right answer is your passion.
Correct.
I don't care what you're doing. I don't care who you work for. I don't care what your idea is. I don't care what your path is on. If your passion's not guiding you, you are off the path.
Yes.
You are off the path. You are giving in, and you are allowing somebody else sitting behind you to guide you
110%.
where you don't want to go.
Yep.
Don't stop. Stop. I beg you, stop.
Please.
I'm not saying that what I'm asking you to do is going to be easy. I'm not saying that, but I promise you this. I promise you this right now. It'll be the most rewarding thing that you've ever done. Okay? Because I did something I did not want to do. I remember this. I came home, my wife, if she were here, she would tell you, I came home, people are begging me, Mark, I need you to do this. Mark, you need to be the face of this. Okay? And I was like, I don't want to do it. I do not want to do it. I'm talking to my wife. We're sitting up in our bedroom. I said, babe, I do not want to do this.
Right.
And she literally looked at me and she pulled this out. If not you, then who? And instantly I went to, if not me, then who? If not now, then when?
Yeah.
And if not this, then why?
Right.
I was ignoring what it is he wanted me to do. Now, at the time, it didn't feel like my passion. At the time, I didn't feel like, you know what, this is actually it. But here's the thing. We have many callings in our life. So many people get stuck on, what is my why? Right. The reality is you have many whys. At that stage in life, at that season of the heart, my backseat driver was not me. It wasn't a passion I would have chosen for myself, but it was a passion that so many other people needed.
Yeah.
And you're an entrepreneur. You have something you want to share. Get rid of the fear, get rid of the money, and share with them a part of you.
Yes.
Give them something that they can believe in.
Correct.
For 4 years, I did so many things that were outside of my box. I traveled all over the country, did public speaking. I worked with politicians, which I'm telling you right now is a nightmare. It's like playing poker every single day. You don't know who's who and what they're really about.
So true.
But at the end of the day, I remember I'm sitting there up in a balcony. We're at the Ohio State House, and we win. We passed this legislation. Here's a boy from a little farm town in Ohio, no college education. Nobody had expectations for this guy. He's just a dumb fireman. And here he is passing a bill that is going to provide hundreds of thousands of people's families benefits. And as I told them, when I passed this, it wasn't about the firefighters. It wasn't about me. It wasn't about the other firefighters. It was about their families.
Yeah.
And that's when it clicked. My passion was driving me. I'm out there and I'm giving an interview to a good friend of mine. His name's Brooks Jarosz. He's now out in San Francisco. He's a reporter. And he asked me, he said, how do you feel? And I didn't know how to answer it because I'm gathering all this information. And the reality is it was clicking to me that my passion was driving me the whole time. It was my backseat driver.
Yep.
Because the reality is my passion was my family.
Right.
And I spent 4 years fighting for my family. I spent 4 years selling myself for my family. But it was at that moment when God showed me. God said, this is why you did that. And I could just look at Brooks and I said, I just feel joy.
Yeah.
I feel joy.
Right.
In the middle of all this negativity, I feel joy. You entrepreneurs, I want you to understand that. I want you to know that you have the choice of what drives you. You have the choice of what you listen to. Right. You have the choice of what you're watching and learning from as you're walking this path. I don't care what your business is. You have the choice of what you use to motivate you. That makes a difference.
Correct.
Josh right now is trying to build this new kitchen with the pressures of the health department. And if you're an entrepreneur and you're in the food business, you know what that means.
Facts.
You cannot let your backseat driver be fear.
No.
You can't do it.
Nope.
Because you know what you're going to do? You're going to shortcut.
Right.
You're going to take chances where you don't need to. Because you think you can cheat it. You can't cheat success.
No.
You can't cheat success.
Nope.
And if it's the dollar you want to chase, I'm here to tell you something. The dollar is only dependent on what the market will spend.
Right. Correct.
Don't put your faith in other people, folks. Put your faith in yourself. Put your faith in Jesus Christ and what he built in you. That's a promise.
Yep.
That's the only place you need to put it.
Please.
Okay? That's the truth. Now, the other version of this is for my young adults and my teenagers. I have 2 high schoolers, wonderful kids. I have a son soon to be in college, and I think about them often. I think about my wife who just went through college. And I think about the backseat drivers. I think about the pressures of society. I think about all the influences. Now, I'm here to tell you, I did not know this until recently. There is such a thing as social media influencers, like it's a job.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know about that. Like I didn't know what that was. I had to look that up. Okay, I had to Google that. I'm old.
Yeah, it's basically running a business with.
Yeah, I didn't know that was real. Yeah. I didn't know that was real. But I think about them, and I think about who's their drivers. Who's behind them?
Right.
Who's making their decisions? Now, my young adults and my teenagers right here, check this out. Be true to yourself. Be true to yourself, because at the end of the day, that's all you got. That's all you got. If you're making decisions based upon the group that you're with, if you are doing things because it's socially acceptable in them, that's your backseat driver. No. Kick them out of the car.
Love it. Love it.
Get rid of them. Put them in the trunk. I don't care. Because at the end of the day, you're the only one who can sit there and say, I did this because I wanted to. If you're telling me I did this because they wanted to, or I did this because they said this is a good idea, you're failing. You are failing, and you're failing others. I'll tell you why you're failing others, because you're stopping yourself from being a better influence on other people. If you are who you are and your backseat driver is your passion for life, then you are projecting that to other people. You are out there helping others be who they should be. But when you're allowing other people to dictate you, to puppet you, pulling your strings, all you're doing is letting people around you down. Stop doing it. Enough is enough. There is nothing wrong with who you are. There is nothing wrong with your lifestyles. There's nothing wrong with your choices. There is nothing wrong with your likes and dislikes. Embrace them.
Love it.
Be you, okay? Because I'm here to tell you, your greatest letdown will be you'll never fulfill their expectations. You will never be who they want you to be. And I don't care if you tell me, oh, I got this big group of friends. They're my best friends in the whole wide world. We all like each other. You're a liar. You're a liar, and I'll tell you how you're a liar, because your other friends talk about what your other friends say about you when you're not around, but yet when you're together, y'all act like things are just fine. Okay, I live that stuff every single day. Stop. Surround yourself with people who are not afraid to hurt your feelings. Okay? Not everybody gets a trophy. I'm here to tell you that right now. Life does not hand out trophies. He is one of my best friends. He is my brother. I don't even like the word friend. He is my brother. Do you know why? Because he can't hurt my feelings.
True.
I can't offend him. He can't offend me. Now, trust me, there are times where we may not be perfectly aligned. There may be times where we irritate each other, but at the end of the day, I'll hug him and I'll tell him I love him.
Facts.
You high schoolers, high school is a very short moment in life. Do not tear down relationships you don't have to. Do not judge and make assumptions on people you don't have to, because the driving force of your car, your backseat driver, is saying they're not good enough. They don't fit in. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because the reality is you're creating an assumption and a judgment of yourself that you don't like.
Right.
You're doing to others what you're actually doing to yourself. You're creating a barrier that is not necessary, all because you're living out of fear of the judgment of others while you pass judgment of others. Just stop. Since when did we stop accepting people for who they are?
It's been a while.
I'm telling you what, I coached for a long, long time.
Yeah.
This is a true story, true story. We're at a wedding this past weekend.
Yep.
We're at a wedding. This is funny because this is where this whole thing comes together. We're at a wedding, and there is a woman who I care for dearly. She has 3 sons who I love dearly. I've had a relationship with all of them, some more than others, but they all have soft spots with me.
Right.
There is a group of guys, I don't know, what you'd say, 6 or 8 guys that you graduated with?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me tell you something, folks. My teenage boys right now that are listening to this, you call yourself a brotherhood, you don't know what the heck you're talking about. This is a brotherhood, okay? These are guys that enjoy each other's success, that root each other to be better, that never become jealous because one has something they don't. No. This is a real brotherhood. This is people who want people to succeed regardless of their stature, social acceptance, whoever they are, whether they come from the wrong side of the tracks or not. This is a true group of brotherhood, okay? Take notes, all right? So we're sitting there, and she comes up to me, and her son's getting married. I'm officiating the wedding.
Correct.
And she says, who would have ever thought 2 boys who grew up with IEPs and people tell them they never could would succeed at this level? Now, I get emotional. I'm trying not to cry right now. I'm telling you right now, I get emotional when people say this stuff. And I looked at her and I said, you know what? I said, because you cannot substitute motivation. You cannot. And the support.
Right.
He's running a construction company. He's a super. He's got a house, a beautiful wife. He's supporting his brothers. This young man is a true success story.
Beautiful.
And people are telling him his entire life he's not good enough. This is the same young man who was a heck of an athlete where we grow up and was even recruited and had the smarts to say, that's not for me. I already know where I want to go. He knew what his passion was. He knew what he wanted his backseat to be, not what people wanted. He didn't want what people wanted. His old man was devastated when he wouldn't accept a college scholarship.
D1 athlete, guys.
Yes.
D1 athlete.
His old man was devastated. He spent the entire night of that rehearsal dinner telling me about his son's highlight videos. I know, I saw them.
Yeah.
The kid was legit,
Beast.
but it wasn't his passion. He said, no, I know who my backseat driver is. He chased it, he succeeded, and he made it.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I'm looking at another one over here. Unbelievable athlete. Unbelievable athlete. Came out of college telling me he's going to be a police officer. And I said, you know what's funny is this, hey, told you I can't offend him. I looked at him and said, no, that ain't for you.
He did.
I said, that ain't for you. I know you too well. That ain't for you.
Right.
And now I watch him and I see where he is. Let me tell you something, young people. Let me tell you right now. You need to think about what your motivation is. You need to think about what's chirping in your ear. You need to think about before you're on the Instagram, on the Snapchat, on the Twitter, whatever it is you're on. You need to think about how are these things influencing me? What am I allowing to drive behind me? Who's my Monday morning quarterback?
Right.
Who is that? It better be you. It better be you. You better be motivating yourself. You better stay true to yourself because I'm telling you right now, at the end of the day, regret and remorse, they are a horrible pill to swallow. And you are going to tear down relationships with people that it's unnecessary.
Right.
It's not necessary. We've come to a point in this country where we do not support people. The minute they have some form of a success, we want to tear them down.
It's ugly.
I want to tear you down because I don't have what you have.
Right.
I want to tear you down because your abilities are better than mine. I don't like you because you can do this better and I can't. When did this start? What's wrong with just saying, you know what? You're better than me at this. Because the reality is you're probably better than them at something.
Right.
There are things you do all day long that I cannot do.
Vice versa.
We talked about that last week. One of the things you're great at in the business is networking. One of the things I struggled with the most when I was selling myself was the networking. I hate it.
Right.
I'm not good at that.
Yeah.
But I accept that. I don't judge you.
No.
My wife is so good. She has the patience of an angel. She puts up with me. I don't.
Right.
I'm an old football coach, man. I'm 0 to 90 all the time.
Heck yeah.
You know what I mean? And she looks at me all the time, just shakes her head. She just shakes her head. But you know what? It doesn't love me less.
Right.
You know what she does? She keeps me in track. I accept that from her. It doesn't mean she's driving my ship. It doesn't mean she's back there driving my ship. It means she's keeping me whole.
Right.
Because I look at that and I say, you know, right, baby, you're right. You're right. My motivation's right here. What am I doing? What am I doing? Because my passion drives me. My passion in life drives me.
Yeah.
And my passion is my family.
Right.
My family's all I need. That's all I got. I'm a dad. I'm a brother. I'm a son.
Yep.
That's all I need.
Love it.
I want these young people to understand. Stop trying to impress other people. Stop. God created you. I know you're going to say, no, my mom and dad did. Yes, God blessed them with a wonderful child, and you are a miracle. But I'm here to tell you, God has a purpose for you. Let your passion drive you, and you will see his purpose for you.
Amen.
Entrepreneurs, I'm here to tell you, you entered this difficult road of wanting to run your own business. There's nothing wrong with that. Good for you. Let your passion guide you on that path. Don't worry about fear. Don't worry about how much money you're making. Don't worry about how fast you're making it or how fast you're not making it.
Right.
Make your product you. People will invest in those who invest in themselves.
Correct.
Invest in yourself, okay? Be that guy who deposits in your own bank. Make those deposits.
Yeah.
Live on that passion. Listen to what he's telling you and stop listening to the noise. When I was in high school, one of my favorite things to tell myself, and I still do it to this day, when things get crazy, I was doing it tonight, I was cooking dinner. Things get crazy and my head's spinning, I always say, clear the mechanism.
Okay.
It's just my little trigger. It's like, be better. It's like, it's all mental.
Right.
I just tell myself, clear the mechanism, and it checks me real quick. Stop. Stop. What's important?
Right.
Stop. Ask yourself, what's important? If you're on a team, what's important? Team, that's what's important. It ain't about you. It's about a team. If you're an individual running a business, what's important? What's important is you.
Yeah.
Make your product the best it can be, and the market will take care of itself. Stop listening to the backseat driver. And I'm telling you right now, if your backseat driver is somebody who's guiding you the wrong way, throw their butts in the trunk, lock the door, and move, okay? Get a new car. Move on.
Burn the boats.
Because guess what? All you're doing, you're just living someone else's life, and there ain't no happiness in that.
Nope.
I mean, that's the best I can say it.
That was well said.
Thank you.
Well said, bro.
Thank you.
That was well said. Yeah. I kind of just I was in the back seat just kind of taking all that in.
No, you were sitting up front. You're co-piloting because it wouldn't have made it wouldn't have made sense. I'm telling you, I tell people all the time, and people do. They ask me, they're like, "Oh, I know you and Josh choreograph this stuff." We really don't. We really don't. We're two alpha males who should not get along. We're both extremely bullheaded and determined individuals who are highly competitive.
Very.
And we have ground rules for this room. And one of them is I can have your title, but that's it.
Yep. That's it.
So, but I will say this on the other side. For all you people listening who may not be believers, that's okay. I don't judge you for it.
Nope.
I don't judge you for it at all. But I know I'm a believer, Josh a believer. We're both sons of God, and we're both heirs to his kingdom. And therefore our hearts align often.
They do.
And that's because this show is his.
It is.
And that's a projection. I want people who listen to the show to understand I'm a child of God, and God makes that offer to everybody. So we may talk about business, we may talk about athletics, we may talk about anger, we may talk about competition, but the reality is that's life.
It all ties in.
That's life. But there are things about that he says, okay, you're going to go through life, but let's do it my way.
Yeah.
And FYI, we're all going to fail. Because I fail it his way every single day.
All over and over and over again.
It doesn't mean I stop trying.
Nope.
Yeah, no.
That was drop mic. I just dropped the mic for those that cannot see.
Yeah.
Very good. Guys, let's do something. Do something with the topics that were brought to you guys today. All right? Stop making assumptions. And guys, go rewatch everything that Mark just said because or re-listen to it because I think that is something that we all can be better at. We all can be better at because ultimately you have one shot at this life.
That's it.
You were blessed and gifted with one shot and you don't know when your time's up. So make the most of it and drive your ship. Don't let someone else do it for you.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Don't let someone else do it for you.
Yeah.
Guys, I appreciate you guys tuning in today. Another quick reminder, follow us on IG, guys. You will stay up to date with us on new things coming our way, sponsorship stuff. You will see clips and social. You will get to see a lot of Tip Hat Media.
Communicate with us, please.
Please. Yeah, guys. Our DMs they're starting to get active, so I appreciate you guys reaching out and sharing your input. Asking questions, whatever they might be. Send us your questions because once we compile enough questions, guys, we will dedicate an episode to some of your guys' questions
100%.
and answer those for you guys, and hopefully provide some value and feedback.
And I'm here to tell you,
guys.
ask honest questions, and you will get honest answers.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I have no problems being vulnerable on this show.
No,
okay,
not at
I
all.
promise you, the longer you stay with this, you'll either hear me cry or watch me cry. It's going to happen.
We're both emotional.
So ask us honest questions, and you'll get honest answers. Criticize us, and we will improve.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're both coachable.
Yep. So Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, wherever you want to leave comments, guys. Follow, like, subscribe, hit that little subscribe button, guys. We appreciate that. And that kind of just lets us know, you guys are interested in what we are producing. And, we're going to keep our foot on the gas for you guys because ultimately this is a ride we're all going to do together. So I appreciate you guys tuning in.
Visionary Meals, Tip Hat Media, we appreciate you because we're here because of you. Yeah.
For sure. No doubt. All right, guys.
Have a good one. Next time.
Signing out.